everybody. Welcome to another episode of Altar Call MAFS. I'm your host, Tane, here to recap season 19, episode 12 of Married at First Sight. We are winding down less than 30 days and we're almost at decision day. We prayed for days like this. Still not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing yet, but I'm loving it so far. But before I get in there and introduce who my guest is, just want to remind you guys that I have a Patreon, patreon.com, where I am currently recapping 90 Day Fiancé Tell all 4 parts. So the first part is up. Second part will be up pretty soon, and 3 and 4 also. And also I recap the challenge every week. That's free for all. So even the free patrons, you can access that. And if you don't want to hear the pesky ads, you can listen ad-free on Patreon. There's a tier for that. So check that out. My guest today, you may have heard her on the Perfect Match podcast with Asia and Jason. She's also the co-host of the Recap Kickback and Crime Scene podcast. And it is Mary. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Altar Call. It's your debut.
I know. I'm excited. Like, if you say, "Hey, Mari, you want a chance to talk about Married at First Sight?" I'm gonna say, absolutely, yes, sign me up. Because if you know anything about me, you know I like this trash show.
Yeah.
So, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I'm also excited to complete the trifecta because now I've had
Yeah.
you, I've had Asia, and of course I've had Jason. So, so it's so exciting to be on here. But how have you been feeling? I ask everybody who comes on here, like, how are you feeling about this fast forward season that we're having, or just in general? How are you feeling about the season?
So, okay. So I think the editing is definitely better
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, like it's tighter. Um, I feel like they're showing us a lot of good stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I still can't shake the feeling of we're not getting everything. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But my thought process is it still doesn't feel as bad as like the last few seasons of
Yeah.
MAFS where I'm like, we're getting 25 episodes and I still feel like we don't know what's going on type deal. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Like this, I'm like, okay, at least what they are presenting feels like a cohesive story. And I'm like, oh, okay, this all right. But I'm also thinking, so what is getting cut on the
Cut out.
floor? You
Mm-hmm.
know? So
Mm-hmm.
it's not as I feel like I'm being lied to or misled. I just feel like with only 14 episodes when we're used to 22, 25,
Yeah.
you just naturally are like there's stuff that we're missing. And just in this episode itself, right? It
Yep.
jumped from 5 days before decision day to the day before or something like that in just a
Yeah.
1 hour. So yeah.
Yeah. I understand what you mean. It's kind of like when someone's not really lying to you, but also lying by
Mm.
omission is a lie. So that's
Yes.
so that's kind of where it is. And yeah, I agree with that. I agree that there are things that we're missing, and we're having to like catch up at break speed. But I always say if I had to pick this or pick the former, I would pick this. I feel
Yeah.
we will get used to it. And that's why, again, I'm so excited for season 20, looking ahead to see what Peacock does when it's their own production. Because this was filmed for Lifetime and they're kind
Yes.
of condensing it and doing all the things. So it'll be interesting to see what they do when we actually, when they have full control of it completely and we see what happens, Maybe it'll be 2 episodes a drop, maybe. Who knows? So,
Yeah, that's what I was also thinking to myself. I was like, at the very least, it might, we might get something different
yeah.
next season because it'll be completely in Peacock's hands. So, um, I will say I have very much enjoyed the experience of
Yeah.
MAFS on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
The binge model is kind of hit or miss for me
Yeah.
because I like being able to watch the episodes, like, back to back and all of that, but when you do that, when you drop 4 episodes, half the time, I'm gonna fall asleep in the middle of like, between the 2nd and 3rd episode in that batch, I'm gonna fall asleep, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
So, it's and again, we don't get to sit with the couples for as long, like, we're used to 6 months with these couples,
Yeah.
so we feel like we know them, and it that's a little lacking. That is lacking this season, but overall a very entertaining
Yeah.
product with the, the cursing, with the backstage cameras, the peek behind the fourth wall of it all. So
Yeah.
not too bad.
Yeah, and I want to add that I think they got lucky that if they were going to do a condensed editing, they got a good cast. This is a good cast to
Agreed.
do this with, and they have good content to do this with. Okay, before we get into the episode, I have two comments from listeners that I'm going to read, and then Mari, you just tell me what you think about what they said. So this is based on the previous episode. I want to say so. The first one is from Corey Mama. Hi. This season
Mm.
has me on tenter hooks. The casting is great, and Peacock is definitely being blessed by Lifetime's work. If it was drawn out over many more weeks with longer episodes, would it be so good? Possibly. All the couples were attracted and invested from jump, which is so refreshing. However, all caps, they have withheld so much tape that we are really left with an unclear view of each person. Motivations
Mm.
and history are almost non existent. This level of splicing feels calculated and deceptive. Thoughts? I mean, it's kind of what we just talked about, but yeah.
No, I completely agree, and that's what I mean, right? Especially when I know we're gonna go into like the Will and Brittany of it all.
Yeah.
Um, I do feel like this season has edited people in such a good light to an
Mm-hmm.
extent that
Mm-hmm.
when some of this stuff happens, you're like, wait,
What?
what? You know what I'm saying? So I can
Blindsided.
Yeah, so I can see that. I think Asia and Jason talked about it. It's like they do the opposite for MAFS that they do for Love Is Blind. On Love Is
mm,
Blind, they show every couple's worst traits,
moments.
worst attributes, worst things, so that if they say yes at the altar, you're completely shocked. And meanwhile, for Married at First Sight, they show you like the nicest, the truest, like lovest stuff, and then all of a sudden they're all no's, and you're like, what is happening? So I can understand how your listener can feel that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, and then we got one from Serena. Hi, Serena. Okay, well, FYI, she says you can go to or leave Burning Man at any time. You don't have to stay the whole 10 days. And this was my bad. I
Okay.
I thought you had to stay 10 days, no shower, no nothing. So wrong
Mm.
information on my part. This is good to know. So then this makes it even more confusing because then why can't she go for a few hours one day and then leave and go get you a nice hotel? So I have no more excuses for Jalen. I don't know. But she says this was Will's best episode yet. Guys, it's episode 11, not 12, because
Mm.
this roller coaster. I
Mm.
wonder if it was because of his mom's visit. Loved her. Hopefully this is a lasting change in him. Kind of think both Jalen and Belinda are checked out. Agreed. Rhonda continues to be
Mm.
the biggest narcissist on reality TV.
Oop.
Seriously, when does she ever consider Pat's feelings about anything? Another great podcast episode. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Oh my God, lots of thoughts. Where are the thoughts? Okay, so yes, Burning Man. That was okay. That was my thought too. I was like, no matter how long the festival is, I'm pretty sure like that's what we were saying. It's like, can she just go for a day? Like, let her
Yeah.
just go. She could just go for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I think if he led with that, like, hey, can you just kind of come out and check it out a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then go back, then fine. But I did say on Perfect Match that it is a trek out there. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
like it's not a boop boop,
In and
you
out.
know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not, it's not a pop in, pop out situation. She would have to do that big old trek into the desert just to stay for a day
Mm-hmm.
and then trek out. But I feel like that is a pretty good compromise for what should not
Yeah.
be this big of a problem between the two of them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, but every the other ones,
Will.
we'll talk about Will
Okay.
and Brittany. We'll wait for that. But
Yeah.
Belinda definitely does look checked out. I
Yep.
can agree with that. For like, it was such a roller coaster because I was like, oh, she's checked out at the beginning. Then I was like, oh, she's in it. She's here. She opened up, yay! And then she checked back out. And I think that speaks to probably a lot of trauma she's gone through.
Yeah.
So spot on with those
Observations.
observations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you agree with Jalen? Because when I was on Jason and Asia's Patreon, I did say I think Jalen is going to say no. and they looked like the golden couple, but it's
Mhm.
just I don't know, this last episode, and we're gonna talk about it, but telling someone whatever happens on decision day,
Right.
what? And
Right.
this whole Burning Man thing, I think, just threw her for a loop. So I don't know. Do you think she's a? We're gonna do predictions at the end of the episode, so maybe
Right.
I'll wait till then. But
Yeah.
I think I'm leaning towards her checking out. But yeah,
I really didn't see that until about this episode.
this episode,
So
okay.
again, I'm telling you, about anybody can go up there and do something on
Yeah,
decision day, and I probably will be shocked, to be quite honest, at this
yeah.
point.
I
Mhm.
can see that. All right, guys, we are 6 days until decision day, and we will start with Megan and Derek, aka Mommy and Daddy.
Mm.
So we open the episode with Derek saying that he's excited to tell her parents about the baby. And I think I said wow out loud. I did I think Jason and I talked about this a little, like how are they going to reveal it? Is it going to be at the reunion? Like I said last episode, kind of wild that the none of the experts are like, you're having a baby, unprecedented. How are you feeling? Let's do a check-in. But you know what? We can't find Dr. Pepper. I don't know why we expect anybody else coming out for that. But her mom seems to have warmed up to Derek now. I think she was kind of
Mhm.
wary in the beginning, but now she's like, listen, it's a real thing and I kind of like him. So her mom comes into the house and she thinks they got an animal, which I thought was so interesting. She didn't say a pet. She just kept saying, you got an animal. And I'm just like,
She did.
that is
Mm.
so strange. And then casually she says, well, at least you didn't surprise me with a baby on the way, so an animal works. And I'm like, huh, okay.
Mm. They looked at each other.
Uh-oh. So Megan hands her a gift, and it's a box that says our next adventure. And she says, oh, you guys are so funny. This is funny. And she was like, I knew you were going to do this because we're on camera. Of course you were going to do this. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, if this was real, I'd be excited. But it's not. You're a prankster. And kudos to the editors for letting us see the pranks that they pulled at the couples retreat, because
Yeah.
it worked together, because now we're like,
Mhm.
okay, this is Megan, this is really who she is. But she's like, wait, you're serious? And she goes, yes, I am. And she
Mhm.
is due November 29th to December 3rd, which is about now.
Oh, yeah.
She's
So and they got married in
February.
February.
Yeah.
Okay,
April, May, June,
so
July, August, September.
you know, that's right. So, first off, as somebody who has had two babies, never give people your pee sticks as the kid. Like, that is just so nasty. As somebody who has had two babies and who is a scientist who specifically works with that, like, don't give people pee sticks as gifts. Just say it. Put it in a card. Like,
Oh man.
oh my god. Anyways,
Maybe there should
so
be pregnancy test holders, because that's very common where people are just handing pregnancy tests. So that's a business on Etsy. Just
it's
get a
it
holder.
it is that is biohazardous waste. Stop. They put it in a nice little box and everything. I don't care. That the nicest box, that is a body fluid.
Yeah.
Please don't
Yeah.
hand that to anybody. Um but so I really wish they had told us. So they had to have gotten pregnant within like that first 2
Hmm.
weeks,
Hmm.
basically.
Yeah. I mean,
Basically, immediately. We know
yeah.
that. It's a honeymoon baby, which
Yeah.
it happens to a lot of couples.
Yeah. Sorry,
Um,
Woody. Woody wanted a honeymoon baby, and Woody and
yeah.
Amani, and it didn't happen. I don't know why he wanted one, but
I mean, more power to anybody, but a honeymoon baby is just not. Uh, yeah,
yeah.
that was not my preference.
Yeah.
So, so my biggest thing was I was like they it felt like they were telling people so soon, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you know, it just felt soon for me.
Yes.
But because even if they but this is 5 days before decision day, right? So yeah, so they
Yes.
at least they're at like
So,
6-7 weeks ish.
yeah.
So
It's not 12 weeks
it's not, yeah,
for sure.
right. So, but I mean, after the very awkward, so awkward exchange of her mom not believing them. It was cute. Then it got kind of weird because they're like,
Yes.
"Oh, y'all are gonna make pretty babies." Okay.
Yes.
Um
Yes. But it's her mom, so I expect,
yeah,
nothing less. I think
exactly.
the fact that the due date is now, it's another reason I am so shocked that they are letting this cast have open social media. I just
Mhm.
I don't that's the number one thing I'd like when they start doing interviews, is just
Yeah.
wondering, they had to have it locked when they were on Lifetime. So I don't understand why this is open.
At least it's not as open as Love is Blind. Like I haven't heard any they was podcasting every 2 seconds.
um Yes. So Megan says that, for this to happen, it's unheard of. And her mom says
Mhm.
grilling Derek to make sure, are you ready? Are you excited? And in my opinion, starts bringing up all the negative things. She's just like, your hormones, you're going to be angry. Your life is going to change. It might not be wrong, but now is not the time. Let's exercise our social cues and the
Yes.
timing. So, anyways, they've told the parents. The dad seems happy about it and good for them. But these two are so serious. They are going car shopping.
Yeah. I mean, so Megan and Derek they're interesting, right? Because
Mm.
I think they are like the complete opposites of Will and Brittany
Hmm.
for me. So Megan and Derek, their love languages and how they care for the person that they're with syncs up so well that they're going with it, even though I am still to this day not sure like how emotionally connect, like it's
They
so
are.
weird because
Hmm.
they don't feel emotionally connected, but again, we don't see it all. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It feels a little cold. It feels like almost a business deal of like, yes, let's get married, let's stay married, let's have these kids, let's have 3 kids. Like it feels
Hmm.
like checking things
The
off of a
box.
list,
Hmm.
you know. um but because their love languages are so compatible, they will more than likely make it work.
Yeah.
As you know, as opposed to Will and Brittany, who I feel like I can feel the love between them,
Yeah.
just cannot get on the same
Same
page
page.
with
Yeah.
how they want to give and receive it. So
Yes.
it kind of really goes to show you that sometimes it's the technique that can override a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's what this is. Them going car shopping, Derek in his provider mode,
Hmm.
them in their planning, nesting mode.
Hmm.
Uh, I knew it. I was like, if Megan's one of those pregnant women who, the moment she's pregnant, she doesn't want to lift a finger, and Derek was like, "Yeah, you sit down, you
Yeah.
don't worry your pretty little head. I'm gonna flit about here." Like
Hmm.
it just works for the both
Yeah.
of them.
I think that's a good comparison, to how they're the opposite of Will and Brittany. And I think what helps them too is their logical brains can precede their emotional brain, in terms of, like, when you said a business deal. So they're just
Yes.
like, this is what's happening. This is what we're going to do. Derek is just like, if I say I love you, she's going to calm down. I'm not going to die if I say it. I'm going to say it, whether I feel it or not. My goal is to get there. So I love you. And it did. It worked. It's like,
Mhm.
this is just the first example. I don't know why. You have an eczema flare, you put some cream on it, it calms down, and then you're
Mhm.
good. So they're pushing and they're trucking along, and it's working for them. But for Brittany, it's like it's all emotion, and it's like it has to be
Mhm.
this certain way. I have to feel this way, and also not feeling safe. I think Derek has done a good job of making Megan feel safe, and
Right.
so they're able to move forward with that. And like I said, they're on the same page for that. So it hits Megan after her parents, and Derek is apparently going to be moving in. The thing with the fast pace is I never remember what was shown or not, or if
Right.
we're just keeping
Same.
up because it's AP class right now. So
Yeah. Exactly.
but either way, Derek is moving in. So they're cleaning up, they're creating the baby room. As Mari said earlier, Derek is doing a bunch of manual labor. I'm surprised they didn't put it in slow mo and put music and all
Yeah.
that.
Shirt off.
He's in full dad mode, and he tells us that the one thing that wouldn't happen is he's not going to have a dad bod. Okay, have the
Okay.
baby first. because
Right.
they babysat three kids of a certain age, and he's like, "So see, three's not so bad. You have not had one yet, so calm down."
Thank you. I was like, if you don't like one step at a time. She's pregnant with the first one, and you are still pushing this three agenda. I was like, okay, they must just need content because what are we doing here?
It is an agenda, the three agenda.
Yeah.
So, yes, he says he's going to go through with decision day. He already has his answer, but that now there's more reason for them to stay together. And Megan is like, even if we don't end up together, we can still, co-parents. We don't need to stay together just for the kid. And he's like, I mean, I know, but we want to be together. So she says she doesn't want that to be the only reason that they stay together. So as of this episode, I think this is the only couple that I feel confident in saying like it's gonna be a yes.
I agree. Yes, like the how gaggy would that be? Like,
Who would have thunk?
it's like no, like that. Yeah, I think I'm confident that they're a yes. And honestly, again, it's just they do complement each other very
Mhm,
well. And
mhm,
like you said, whenever they had those fights, especially in the beginning,
yeah,
um, it was always Derek who would come and like smooth it over and apologize and give her exactly what she needed. And the fact that he was willing to do that over and over and over again and did not get sick of it is a testament to them like both actively trying to make it work. So
yeah,
you have to commend them for this. Like
yeah.
it's so weird. I would not have thought that are they the golden
I mean, someone reminded me because
couple?
remember when Jalen and Josh were ranking the couples and they had
Mhm.
Megan and Derek as number one. And I'm like, what are they seeing? Like, I
Mm.
don't see what you're seeing, but
Mhm.
here we are. It looks like they might be the golden couple. And I think I want to add, like, over the years and over the seasons, I've always said with the experts, give them a good starting ground. The good starting ground being just give them two people who are attracted to each other
Yeah, that's true.
because they're more likely to work it out or give it a chance, and more than likely they're going to be banging each other anyways, and then they can
Mhm.
still have that ground to work on. And I think that helped with them. If he was absolutely, or she was not attracted to him at all, she would have just fled and run for the hills. But that
Mhm.
attraction, it can be good, it can be bad, but in this case it worked out for them. So wishing them the
That's a great
best.
point. That's a
Yeah.
great point.
Okay, anything else with them before we move
No.
on? Okay. All right, guys, I will take a quick break and I will be right back with Rhonda and Pat. I had to whisper because anytime I see Rhonda, I think I said it when she came into the restaurant the last episode, she says hello. And I sat up straight, even I, am not in the same room with her, but I'm like, what is going to happen? But
Mm.
I have a question for you, Mari.
Mhm.
I have a memory of them moving into the apartment. But is that real? Did they move into the apartment?
No, no. Rhonda refuses. You could tell she's like, I love my house. It's so funny seeing these older couples and how they deal with production. It is
Yes.
wild to see the complete difference. And it really makes me wonder if they're gonna continue with this
Mhm,
after this
mhm,
season, but
mhm.
the you could tell Rhonda was like, "I'm not having it. I am not having it." And, more power to her, I guess. Like, I mean, there's really no reason why they absolutely need to be in those apartments other than, like, it's supposed to provide a neutral space,
For
and
mhm.
that's probably you know what? That's probably why she's so emboldened as well. So, I mean, Rhonda was like, "No, we're taking it back to the old school math days."
Where he
I ain't
has a
going to
place.
this apartment.
But where do
So,
you think Pat sleeps?
I would hope in her house with
They
her.
they've never shown them waking up,
Oh, that's
like
true.
him like waking up in her bed, and then when they meet sometimes, I know it's her house, but when they had the charcuterie board and when he had his NASA thing, it was the apartment. So I'm like,
Was it? I thought the NASA thing was in her like, in her living room.
oh, maybe it was.
I thought it was because I remember he had all the monitors, and I could have sworn that didn't look like the apartment. I don't know. It's
He
been a
did,
minute.
yeah. He had
Yeah,
the
yeah.
iPad and all that. But yeah, I just wondered, it was just random. I was like, okay, so maybe
Mhm.
they're filming there, but where is Pat sleeping? Because we've just never had
Mm.
a wake up shot
No, we
of
haven't.
them in that house. But also, I wonder if also this is a cast that they all have great houses. Every house has been a 10 over 10.
Right.
So there's
Texas.
space.
Mhm.
Hey, that's the only thing I miss from moving from
Full
Texas.
houses. Yeah.
But yeah, I wondered about that. But another day in Rhonda's house, another gripe to be discussed. So she brings it up
Okay.
again to him and said, something that stuck to her was Adrian saying, Pat, just be yourself. And, we did not appreciate what Adrian did to Pat last episode. He needed a friend, he got a foe.
Adrian left him for dead. Just left him for dead.
Adrian said, I'm scared too. I'm not going to piss her off. You're on your own, buddy. I'm going back home. Because
Exactly. Oh my
when she walked
god.
away, he said, "Did I say something wrong?" So yeah, but he said, "Pat, be yourself," and it looked like he was getting overwhelmed, and she's just curious. She's like, "Why can't you be yourself around me?" I'm like, what? Do you not know?"
Cause you be browbeating him every 2 seconds. Just beat down, beat down, beat down. Like when I first started this season, I was like, oh, I love Rhonda. She's such a live wire. She's so cool.
Mhm.
And then just to continually see Pat just poor, like she's like, Pat, you never ask about me. Pat, you always tell me about you. And what do you expect him to do? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
This is what I said on Perfect Match. I was like, Rhonda would hate to see me coming because that's how I conversate. I like to be like, yeah, that happened to you. That also happened to me. It was crazy for both of us. What did you do?
Yeah,
This is what I did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
yeah,
just, you would think how our conversation goes. But when you're constantly trying to think, like, oh no, I don't want to say something and she gets mad,
yeah.
it's hard to be yourself.
Yeah, and it's like a pop quiz. She gives him a lot of information to put in his brain, and he's not able to compute all of it at once. And then it's like, fail. You failed my pop quiz because you don't remember everything. So the man is
Right.
trying to
Like,
do a
yeah,
lot.
why are you pop quizzing? Pop quizzing is not having a conversation either.
Yeah. But Pat the people pleaser tells her like, "No, it's not just you. It's not unique to you. You're not the reason why I'm not comfortable. It's I just put a lot of expectations on myself growing up, and his family, we learned that his family has a rich history. They were kind of like an Air Force postal family, so he felt he had to go to the Air Force
Shout out.
Academy. He wanted to make his dad proud, and I appreciate them leaving things like this because these are the things that we missed, from No Matchmaking Special and the
Mhm.
things they used to do in the beginning of the episodes where they're repeated and we get to get a little bit of history because I believe this was the first time I was hearing that. But again, I'm not sure. Was that the first time we were hearing?
Um,
He might have
I
mentioned Air Force, but not
I was about to say I feel like I did know that he came from a military family, but I don't know if we knew all of
all
this.
of this. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
So he said that was his home life and in relationships, and because of that, he wanted to be the best husband, the best father, and he lost himself, and he feels like it's happening again. And he's felt a lot of pain and anxiety in this experience. I was like, ouch.
I
And
know.
those are not him. He's like, I don't experience anxiety, and these are just all stressors. But then she cuts him off because of course she did, and says, "Well, that's life." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so weird, right? Because like Rhonda had a very sad story about her second marriage and
Mhm.
how controlling her second marriage was.
Mhm.
And I was wondering if she was taking that hurt into this. After her second marriage, she then wasn't with anybody for 25 years. So
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of um, trying to combat what happened in that second marriage while also just a quarter decade, a quarter whatever century of almost being by herself. It's just
Yeah.
like she doesn't know what it's like to share space with somebody, and she's trying to make sure that she doesn't get trampled
Mhm.
in that situation, but she's finding herself doing the trampling, and she
Yeah.
just doesn't see that. She just doesn't understand that.
Yeah, she's overprotecting herself. And
Yes.
I'll add her to the examples when I say I do feel like you have to have had some kind of recent relationships before coming on this show.
Mm,
Like, don't come here
mhm.
to work out the issues. We all have issues. I'm not saying no one has issues, but this is a lot, especially the added layer of at this age. And I mentioned this on their Patreon. At this age, no one's changing. That's just me. You're not changing at
Exactly.
63 for what?
Exactly.
So
Oh my gosh.
it's a take me as I am or nothing. So
Mhm.
um, but yeah, she says that's life. Like you have to deal with that, which I thought was dismissive. And it's just always so surprising because it's akin to when she tells him, you just need to give me grace. And I'm like, you can do that too and give him grace. So you're being dismissive, but if he did that to you, oof, it would be a lot
Exactly. And
that
and then
happened.
and then the last expert visit, she was like, "Oh, now he's intimidated by me. That's everything I've ever heard." So now he
Yeah,
can't
he's
even tell you that
timid.
he's intimidated because now he's like all the other
Yeah,
it's I he can't win. And
he
I
can't
and I
win.
I truly I'm like, "Why do you make me feel bad for Pat?" Fighting with men. No, it's just I
No, there's
did
a
I
lot of
did
that.
feel yeah, I really did feel bad for him here because I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah,
yeah.
Rhonda is like the hero in her own story. So
Story.
hopefully she watches this back and she realizes like how it was really coming across.
Yeah. She does say she has a big question for him. Even I was like, oh my God, what could this question be? But she's like, can you be confident and sure that you want to work in parallel on processing what's happening with us while being your authentic self all the time? And I'm like, please, Pat, I hope you understood what she just asked you because that was a lot of words
Mhm.
in that question.
Cuz
And
I didn't.
he's like, I don't know, but I mean, I want to get there. And I was like, don't worry, Pat, I have the answer for you. It's a no, dog.
It's
You are
it's
not
a no for me.
you don't have the capacity to do all these things because like you've said multiple times, you can't win. He can't win. So there's no need no matter how hard he puts in.
Yeah.
Um Rhonda does sadly share that her mom's husband passed away in a selfie cam. And she
Yeah.
says that their wedding anniversary is actually the same day. Her parents' wedding anniversary was the same day as the day she and Pat got married. And, that was sad.
Very.
And as an aside, as a person who wears glasses, I am living for Rhonda's frames. And I love this particular ones that she had. And I went on like a whole Google dive.
That's
And I
hilarious.
do it so you don't have to. So for anyone else that was interested, they're called Tarian frames. And they also won the
Right.
best optical frame eyewear designer at the Silmo Dior Awards. I don't know what that is in 2019. And I'll tell you that those frames went for $540. So,
Oh,
so
wow.
not in my tax bracket, but just
No.
FYI.
Okay, okay. Rhonda got that bread.
She sure do. So
Mhm.
she's telling Pat that, today's a hard day for her with everything going on. And anytime she says things like this, I feel the anxiety for Pat because I just know Pat is like, oh my God, what do I say? Is it right? He puts his hand on her and, everything's fine. She says, losing Danny has made it hard to focus on this relationship, but Pat has been sweet and nice and he has been helpful. And I'm like, say that to him. Like, it will be nice for some niceness to be said to him, not just the nitpicking, on him.
Yeah, exactly.
She brings them up, them staying apart, and can they figure that out? And he should be his authentic self. And when it's just them, she wants him to be authentic, and she needs him to be himself. I'm like, I don't know. She said it once. I don't think you need to tell him he's 57. You don't need to tell him over and over to be himself. She says she doesn't want him like leading him or dragging her on, and she just wants him by her side. It took me a while to realize she's saying something nice. I honestly thought she
Right.
was picking on him on that. they're actually in the apartment because they're saying goodbye for decision day. And
Decision day.
then they hug, they kiss, they say, I love you. And that was
So
it.
I guess you're right. I don't think they're sleeping
That's,
together.
yeah,
You're right. No, because she also was like, "Oh, I don't want you to move into my house because that's
yeah,
what happened."
yeah,
But then she goes and stays in her house. Well,
yeah. And they didn't tell us, like, what did they decide? Like, does he just get the apartment? And I'm sure they just wanted those
probably
that
that's
time
what I would do.
apart.
Yeah, I would
So
just.
he wanted
But
to
he,
stay with her in the beginning, but I'm sure now he's like, oh, that's fine. That's cool. I'll go.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's a no. Let's end this for everybody. Let's call it here. Let's put a fork in it.
Do you think Rhonda will say yes, though?
No.
No.
There's nothing that we've seen from her to indicate that she would say yes, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Not to
Okay.
me, at least. Yeah.
If she said yes, I don't think I'll be surprised. It would be like this weird thing. Maybe she'll propose. They come up with their own rules. Except
Mhm.
Pat is a complete no. Pat is like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be in anxiety for the rest of my life. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll take a break and I'll be right back with Belinda and Chad. Okay, and we're back. So this couple, my main thing with them was, is she really into him? Is Chad really who he says he is? And all we had to do
Okay.
was wait for 11 and 12. Yeah. And we still don't know. But Belinda tells us that after the argument that they had about production, he came home and they didn't talk about it. And he slept at his house the next day and they haven't seen each other since.
Mhm.
They're eating pizza, and I'm like, okay, so are you good now? But then we find out that, oh, they're meeting with the experts. It is not experts. They're not meeting. It's a phone call, not even
Mm.
a FaceTime. It is a phone call.
Honestly, I was like, good on him because, like, shout out to Dr. Pia because this felt like Belinda was like, this is an emergency situation.
Mhm.
I'm finna get out of here. We finna go. And Pia was there on the phone as she's talking to them. She's also like, I'm kind of free. We see her a little bit later. This to me, I was like, this is what the experts should be there for. They should be there for when they need them.
Mhm.
I thought this was some good expert intervention. Now, do I think they are far past
Mhm.
expert intervention? Kind of. But I mean, this was this episode was a really rough one for Chad and Belinda and all those chickens coming home to roost, I think.
They sure were roosting. I will
Mhm.
get there, but I don't think Pia did her best work with them.
Really?
Yes, I was like, what? First of all, I don't know. Like I said, I at least a FaceTime. I didn't appreciate that it was a phone call. I'm not like, I get it. Dr. Pepper is
Yeah.
like, Pia, you do all your work and your stripes, but we could have at least got a video call. But as Belinda is talking, Chad is twitching. Like, I don't, he's mad or sad. I don't know which one it is. And, she brings up the
Oh,
whole
he was trying
situation.
not to cry.
Yes, he was. I
Mhm.
couldn't remember if it was this or the other one that they had. Okay, it was this one.
Both.
And and Chad chimes in to say, like, this environment is not his normal life. Yes, TV show,
Oh.
reality TV show. It is. But they do this thing where they splice in and they do a voiceover. We hear him say it, but we don't see him say it. And what he says is, I love Belinda, and given more time and more natural in normal situation, things would be better. I don't know why they did that, but
Oh,
they spiced that over.
big
So
catch.
Dr. P apologizes and says, like, production, I guarantee you, is not trying to be disrespectful, but there's
Right.
so many moving parts. Like, even if you don't watch reality TV, I think that's a baseline. You have to know that there's so many moving parts. And if they tell you 2 o'clock, it might not be 2 o'clock. Like,
Right.
you just have to be flexible when you agree to film a show.
I think he thought that he could go about his day and they would
Mm-hmm.
bend to his will, they'd
Yes, well,
follow him
mm-hmm.
around. But I don't think he understands these type of reality shows like akin to your Real Housewives and stuff. It's very much go here, we've rented out this restaurant, talk
Mm-hmm.
here about this type thing. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
It's not the real world. It's not they're not there 24/7,
Hmm.
which we begrudgingly wish they could. They're not there
Like Big
24.
Brother.
Yeah, like they're not there 24/7. So because they're not there 24/7, they have to schedule you. And then like
Yeah,
you said, like Pia said, schedules get off all the time. So
yeah.
yeah, it's unfortunate that it's something he wasn't prepared
Prepared
for,
for. Hmm.
but the one thing he could manage was his reaction, and he
Yes.
did that poorly.
Yes.
And that's why Belinda rightfully is taking a step back.
Yes, absolutely. I've always said, like, of course, like, I agree when, perspective came when Nicole was on the show with Chris, and they said like their assistants are like 22-year-olds. Like he's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna want
yeah.
to hear from that. So understood, but you don't have to react the way you do, and it's not just you anymore. Belinda is also there. She doesn't have a problem. Meet in the middle somewhere in that regard. So Belinda brings up the wedges being brought up when he mentioned that production is trying to come up between Josh and Jalen. And she says, I went straight to the source and it wasn't true. Chad is like, I'm not lying. You already have it in your mind that, I'm not telling the truth. So there's no point arguing with me. Why did no one ask him to show the text?
Right.
Like he said, there was a text.
And why didn't he back down? I would have been like, oh, I must have misunderstood.
Yeah, or
Because we all
something.
knew it was a lie when it came out of his mouth. He looked like he
Yeah.
looked like he was a kid lying when he said it. So it's just kind of like, yeah, this is not a good look. And it's just one of those things, that slippery slope thing where it's like, we were all good. Now I see you have a a
Temper.
temper, and then from that temper, now you're lying to justify it. Like it's
Yeah.
just a snowball effect that it just did not look good for Chad, and I literally cannot fault Belinda for what she's doing now. This and then like just seeing what we're seeing, I couldn't fault her, and then to hear about her past, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I think where Chad messed up too is you involved her child. That will always be a soft spot for any mother. Make your point. Like production is trying to drive a wedge. Use your experience if they are to bring somebody else in there. It's like, what are you trying to achieve? Especially one you can fact check. So because it's so absurd that he would lie, make that lie that can be checked on camera by the person in question, I had a little like, is there a chance that he's not lying and Josh is just actually said something, but they're trying to keep a united front that, everything's fine, everything is good, and Josh is just going along with it? Is there a 0.0002%? Only because I'm trying to grasp that. Will Chad be so dense as to make up a lie that can be fact checked,
To be so easily verifiable. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like I could see Josh being like, oh my God, these producers with these questions, because
Yeah.
it has felt like this
Yeah.
whole Burning Man comment is
Hmm.
been blown up to more than it should be. So that's what I'm saying. I would have just probably been like, oh well, I must have misunderstood him, because
Yes.
he probably said something in passing, and Chad kind of,
Took that
you
and
know,
ran.
yeah,
So yeah, you're right. That would have been easier. But like that was how I misunderstood it, and I guess maybe that's what PO was going to, a difference in perspective.
yeah,
And so maybe if she operates that he wasn't trying to lie, and I'm not gonna lie, I was confused by everything else that she said, because anytime they start talking that way, all I'm hearing is we need to keep our stats. These couples need to say yes, and
yeah,
so
yeah.
I wasn't sure. Like, of course it's a difference in perspective. That's why we called you. So don't reiterate that maybe it is a difference there. So it meant nothing to Belinda, because Belinda is like, well, if he's saying things that aren't true now, how true are the things that are going to be better when we leave this place? Like, I am now in a
Exactly.
place where I don't trust this man. That she was thinking decision day was a yes, and now I don't know. So, Pia says, going forward, can we promise to be as honest and direct as possible? I'm like, I mean, we could say that's what the vows were, to be honest,
I
but
know.
I
It's
don't.
like she's gonna say no, no, we can't.
And I'm like, how can they do that when he thinks he's not lying? So I guess that's why I was just like, to me, it felt like Dr. Pia was in a rush. I mean, I know she said she was possible, but maybe she had something to do and it was an emergency. But it just felt like she was saying things that, yes, those are the right things, but I don't think they were very helpful. They both left there not seeing a path forward. They left the same way they
Yeah.
came, I guess is how I
You no,
felt.
I can agree with that. Yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
was just again, maybe that's my fault. Bare minimum. She showed up.
She showed up. Okay, yes, because in the past we hadn't seen them.
Bare
Remember Love is
minimum.
Blind when they said we're not feeding them? And then the episodes after there was all that food. They're like, the experts were here on call.
Yep. Mhm.
So she asked Belinda, like, is your relationship with him worth taking the risk of believing him? And Belinda's like, she didn't say what, but her face was like, I don't know, like, I keep setting myself aside to make him comfortable. She did not say yes, guys, just note that. She says that she feels, and it was more like, and another thing, I feel like I have no intimacy with my partner while you're asking me these questions about taking a risk to believe him one day before decision day. But she's like, his wind down is to drink to help him sleep, and for me, I'm just there on my
Yep.
bed on my phone and he's not there. And this is another victim of the fast forward because all we do
Right.
all season, we're fine, we're good, couples retreats, everything is going great. I'll say yes. Why is this just coming out now? We saw it in, was it episode 11 or 10, where she wanted to go to bed and he wasn't coming to bed, but that was
I
about
can't
it.
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when she said, "Come lay with me," and then that's what that
Mm.
was the episode where he said, "I'm uncomfortable in the apartment.
Oh, mhm.
That I'm not used to all the noises and all of that." But I'm like, it was like 2 episodes before decision day, and that's the first time we're hearing all this. So is it editing, or why is all this just coming out now?
Yeah.
And
I think it's probably a little bit of both because again, cameras aren't there 24/7. So, and Belinda and Chad always gave like it never gave, "Oh, we're perfect." It always gave like we're guarded. You know,
mm,
it's just they were guarded together.
mm,
And now that there's a break, it's oh, all the
the
secrets are
dam
coming
is
out. You know,
burst.
yeah, yeah. So I'm not surprised. And then him talking about her dog in the last episode and her not liking it, like
Yeah,
it's too much. You know it really is, and you could just tell that Belinda has probably been going through it. Because even it's hard. It's even hard for her to kind of like tell her
express.
daughter about it because
Mhm.
everybody's all
That's her
rooting.
brother.
That's how it is when everybody's so close. They're all trying to root for each other. They're trying
Yeah,
to like it's just, to me it's just harder to open up. So
yeah,
I did feel bad hearing all this stuff about them, but Belinda, I think we know that she got out of a 20 some odd year
mhm,
marriage with Jalen's dad that was virtually loveless at the end. She does not deserve that anymore. So
yeah.
I am all for whatever decision she makes, you know?
I mean, jumping ahead, it's going to be a no, but um
Yeah, I think so.
Chad just he burst out and is like, "Well, there's a puppy dog, and just like you think you're trying to protect my feelings, I am too, and I'm not going to tell you to just kick Lovey out knowing how much you love him." I mean, I can see his side here. It's not helpful when a partner thinks like, "Oh, I'm not going to say anything to protect your feelings," but
Mhm.
you have to, because you have to talk about it to kind of talk about what solution there could be. And she's like, "You could have just said something. I wanted to spend time with you." He does say that he did. And we did see the episode where he did say, "Can we come up with training for Lovey?" She
Mhm.
just didn't kind of respond to him. So I don't know. Or maybe they cut it out. I always have to put that caveat. I don't know what is cut out or not. So
Yep,
based on
yep,
what
yep.
we saw, I don't know what they decided to do. So Dr. Pia comes in and was like, "Okay, we're going nowhere, but I encourage you to have conversations and ask each other if you want to work on it." I see, these are the things. I'm like, okay, they could have done that.
Platitudes, platitudes, yeah.
So Chad is like, "Yes, I want to work on it." And Belinda's like, "Yes, I'm willing." She didn't say I want to work on it. I'm willing, but I need
Yeah.
time.
I was
Then
not convinced.
yeah, she tells them, Write down a thought. And if you want to revisit it, I'm available. And I'm like, all right, cool. So they hang up. And like you said, Chad looked like he was about to cry. And then he walks away. No, I think he wanted to cry when she came in person. I think that was the one where he sat there.
Honestly, both. I swear to
Both.
God, both times. I think
Yeah.
because
Okay.
yeah, to be quite honest.
Yeah, Chad walks away and was like, I need to take a walk. And he says that he's learned from previous marriages that he can't be the only one willing to work on it. And he doesn't know what she wants. Belinda is like, I'm going home for the night. Well, they both broke the rules now. They've both gone
I
to their
kind of need to
houses.
know what happened with those other marriages because I don't know.
I gave up. I've been asking for it all season because I
I
think it's a
know.
huge component to this. And the second part to that is I want the experts to tell me why they thought somebody who had been married 3 times is a good match for someone coming out of everything she's been through, which I'm sure that they knew. That's what I'm mad
Right.
at. She doesn't deserve that. Like,
Exactly.
if it's three
Exactly.
times, that's three too many, you know? So, not to say he doesn't deserve love, guys. I'm just saying not for this show. It's
This
fast track.
show, exactly.
Mhm. So, they have a selfie cam where they both want to talk it out and they decide to make it work. So she's headed to Chad's. He agrees that his behavior was out of line. He apologizes, but says that it was a gut punch because he heard new stuff that he'd never heard before. And she's like, well, you just brought up Lovey. And you said before, I thought he had mentioned that before. And he's like, we're
Mhm.
going nowhere. Are you willing to work on it? She's like, yeah, but I want to have a conversation. But he's not letting her participate. And she's like, I'm tired of your tone. I'm done. And she gets up and she leaves. And he says, I love her, but I can't be married to someone who cannot have a rational conversation. What did you think of that?
We went from worse to worser. Like, what is happening right now? Like, this is just it's just bad.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
they can't communicate. They're taking pot shots at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Belinda's body language is just so she is disengaged. She is out of it.
Yes, that's the best word, disengaging. So
Mhm.
we get another selfie cam. Belinda and Chad are meeting up again tomorrow. And you know what my question was are these meetings on the schedule? Because he said he was only sticking to the schedule. They've
Mm.
met 3 times now. So did he have time for that?
They're on the schedule if he
Um,
wants to keep this marriage.
yeah, that is true. Dr. Pia was on the first flight out because they're meeting with her in person. They're all in the same color scheme. And Belinda says their conversation is controlled. And Dr. Pia says it seems like he's been outside his element and what would help him. And this is where he was so uncomfortable, looked like he was about to cry. The camera pans to him. He's bouncing his legs up and down. He actually has like a flare up. He's all red all over and he's so uncomfortable with this conversation. He said he would like somebody to try to understand him. That's a shot. And Belinda's like, that's all
Again.
I've been doing. I've been
Yeah.
on eggshells because I don't want you upset. And she usually doesn't like conflict. And this is where I think Pia did good. She focused on her and said, where does that come from? And that's when she shares
Mhm.
about her ex husband and how they had blow ups that got scary and her kids saw it, and because of that she has created her safe space. She just wants peace. She doesn't need any of these extras and all this fighting, which now you can understand when Chad is getting so mad that the schedule changed. And that's why she says, why are you getting so mad? Like, you can be
Mhm.
annoyed but not to this extent. Like,
Exactly.
really. So Pia says that they're both fight or flighting, but they need to give grace that they are not their exes. And she's like, time's a ticking. And the silent part is, you guys are stats. You got to say yes. And she's like, do you want to be single? And I'm like, why are you saying that like that's a threat? I didn't like the tone of all of that. Like, do you want to be single? Yeah, maybe if my partner is not meeting up to what I want for my life. That's okay. So what?
Right, it's perfectly fine.
So Belinda
Mhm.
says, yeah, I don't want to live in a bubble, but my bubble is nice though. So that's how it
Mhm.
ends with them. So I don't know. This is done. Do you think Chad is going to say yes? I guess is my question.
Probably. Yeah, he's
Ah,
definitely gonna say yes. Oh, one
yeah.
hundo p. I think he's gonna say yes.
Okay.
I think in his mind still, it's these cameras. It's just the cameras. It's just the situation that once these cameras are gone, we'll
Hmm.
be fine. It'll all be fine. He does not realize his behavior is really turning Belinda off. And
Yeah.
again, in a reasonable way, because I agree with her. Like, why are you this upset? Like,
Mhm.
that is scary, you know? So,
Yeah. Okay. So Jalen and Josh, I don't think they're getting a lot of camera time, and I don't even know if that's good or bad. But they go to a steakhouse for what I think is like their final date. Josh says they've
yeah.
had important conversations. They're still learning how their lives will mesh together. Burning Man comes up again, and she
Yeah.
explains further that she just thought if like because I remember when she told him maybe you should just be with someone who likes Burning Man, and I'm like, okay, that's a long stretch. But she
And don't
says it
say
again,
that.
like, I just think you would be happier. Like someone who loved it as much as you do, your life would be so happy. But she doesn't want to feel like she's making him give up things in his life, and that's what stresses her out. And now I'm like, wait, I thought she was okay with him going by himself. She wasn't?
No, she was. This is so what she was saying is because what we I think kind of was left somewhere on the cutting room floor,
Yeah.
but Josh alluded to, he said, like, I've already imagined myself at Burning Man without you, and I know it's just not going to be the same. So
Okay.
I'd just rather
Okay.
not go. He's
Okay.
saying that he'd rather not go to Burning Man, and she's like, don't not go just because
Yeah.
I don't want to go.
Yeah.
And that's why it then flips to she's like, I think Josh is just telling me what I want to
What do I
hear
hear?
because if
Yeah.
we've been fighting for the past 4 weeks about you wanting me to go to Burning Man, now all of a sudden you're saying it's fine. I won't go then. If
Yeah.
you're not coming, I don't want to go. Like that is such. First off, that seems so disingenuous.
Yeah.
Two, it seems very manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
Like why would you put that on her conscience that she's the reason you're not doing something that you love so much that your whole life is based around?
Yeah.
Like both of them, what what happened to reasonable compromise? What
Why?
happened to let him go? Like I think she did say like you could
Yeah. You
go
can
by
go.
yourself, like go by yourself, then we can go on a retreat or something, which I was like, well, that's stupid. Like to me, I was like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
But like let him go. She doesn't have to go. Maybe the year after that, she goes for a day. Then he doesn't like where are these sensible compromises? It should
Mhm.
not be either or. It's like you come with me or I don't go. This is stupid. Like this is one of the stupidest arguments ever. I'm
It really
sorry.
is. It really
It
is.
makes no sense.
And you're making such big declarations on a hypothetical. He's like, I just know I don't want to be there without you. How do you know? By year 3, how do you know you're not just like, you know what? This is my thing. I'm fine going. You've never gone with her. You don't
That's
even
what
know what it's
I'm
like. She
You've
might
been
get there
every year with
and be
us.
like, I'm hot. This is crazy. I don't want to do this. And then it ruins the experience. Like, what are you even saying?
Oh my god. This
So,
doesn't
yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
none, none,
It
none at
makes
all.
no sense. And
Mm-hmm.
so and again, so that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm Jalen, I am really like confused,
Yeah.
right? Because did they already do the thing about his exes yet? Like did we I don't think we got that
We
yet.
said one line and then focused on Burning Man, not the fact that he's still talking to his exes.
Okay, that's what I was about to say. Like it felt like okay, so it was kind of glossed over. It's like
Yeah,
but I could have sworn there were like scenes in the season. Maybe we'll get some more scenes next week. I
they
don't know.
did it
But
because I think that was Jason's gripe. Was like, "Hello, there's an ex he's still talking to. Are we gonna talk about
right.
that?" And they were like, "Nope, Burning Man it is. If it's not Burning Man, it's Community." I'm like, guys, bigger fish to fry over there.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm so confused as to why we're focusing on this. And that's what I mean. It's like if you're saying you'll block your ex, but then you don't. If you're saying you'll give up the one thing that makes you feel whole, makes you feel alive for me, it's weird, dog. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it is. And that's her concern too, because I think her concern should be what she said earlier, where is he just saying things for me to be happy? That's a bigger
Mhm.
concern, but she's
A
concerned if
big
they can
concern.
both be fulfilled. I'm like, Burning Man is 10 days of 365 days in a year, but okay, whatever floats your boat.
Right.
But Josh says music is something I really enjoy, but it's not who I am. There's a lot of things that make me who I am that's way outside of that. But at that moment, I was like, holy shit, what do I have outside of that? So I'm like, okay, so is it all you have or is it not? Like, I can't tell. Do you know? So she says, maybe you go this year and then next year we go to a trip or a retreat, like you said. And yeah, I was with you, like, guys, we're doing too much here. This doesn't make sense.
I kind of just want to know, did they go to Burning Man this year? Like, no.
We want to know, when is
Mhm.
Burning Man?
It's in like August, September, I believe.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it already happened.
Okay, so good thing is we find out in a few days because we don't have to wait
Hmm.
6 months.
Yeah.
So Jalen is not convinced about this whole thing because she says she still wonders if he's saying what she wants to hear. So she's like saying, okay, that's fine. Then she tells him, no matter what happens on decision day, I want you to know that you're an incredible person. And I'm like, ooh,
Hmm.
ooh.
Hmm. What do you
So
mean by that?
no matter what happens. And I'm like Derek and Megan, like,
Yeah.
we will see you after, we will live here. It's no matter what happens. So,
Yeah. Very, very interesting.
yeah.
Hmm.
So that's it for them. Anything else?
Honestly, no. I'm. They confuse me because again, it's like we start off so strong,
Hmm.
and now I'm like, technically, y'all should be together because there's no huge roadblock in your way. But
Yeah.
what I don't consider a huge roadblock, clearly they do. So it's weird.
Yeah. I think in a way, Jalen is overcorrecting based on her mother's life and not wanting to repeat the same mistakes. And then for his case, he is just learning things about himself that he didn't even know he had to learn. They're just things that he didn't know was a big deal. Like him saying, I didn't realize Burning Man meant this much to me. And it's just like, can both of them learn together? But I think she saw him cry about Burning Man and it's like, yeah, I can't do that. It won't be me. So
The Burning Man cry ick.
yes,
Gotcha.
the ick. But we'll see. Okay. We are all here for Will and Brittany, at least I am.
Oh my
And I just
gosh.
want to start with, well, aren't I just stupid? Because the previous episode, Will said, I love you back. I'm out here. I'm like, oh my God, he said it back. We got this, we
Hmm.
got that. Little did I know, Will was like,
I'm
hold your beer.
I'm like, we did it, Joe, and it's just like, oh man.
Oh man. Okay, so they're on a boat and Will makes a joke, charcuterie board. I'm like, okay, things are going
Which
well.
was funny,
It
but she
was.
didn't get it. I don't think she got it.
That's what I was about to say. Was like Brittany already had that look. That
I
look
don't.
of.
She didn't get the joke.
I think she
Oh,
was in her head. She was in her head
oh,
about. She was
gotcha.
already getting ready for those questions.
I think you're
As,
right.
as Jason tries to say, like she sets traps for herself. And Will is not the
Yeah.
one because he would not sidestep. He will be like, "What? I'm walking in. Trap me."
He's like, oh, foghorn leghorn, like step on the rake,
Yes.
step to the other rake, step to the other rake. He does not
Yes.
care.
So yeah, I think she was preparing herself for that. They talk about how well they're doing. Will asks her, "Oh, what was the moment when things just shifted and things were good?" And she's like, "Oh, the moment with Dr. P and Pastor Cal when she realized that she was guarded." I mean, a little side eye to that because pickleball happened after that, so it couldn't have been the moment where it shifted. I think, but
Mm,
who knows?
mm-hmm.
And instead of enjoying the moment, Brittany says, well, do you feel your emotional connection has grown? Will is like, that's a trick question. Then he catches himself. He's like, oh, wait, you asked me that before. I didn't answer it right. They all got on my ass. But I feel a strong connection with you, and I'm looking forward to it growing. He's like, yeah,
Boom. I
I
was
did
like,
good.
nailed it. I was like, nailed it.
But it's Brittany. not good enough. And she says, I want to know, how does a strong connection correlate to love? I'm like, oh God, don't do it. Don't do it. She's like, when you say you love me, what do you mean? And he's like, okay, I want you to be happy. I'm committed to you. It's an action as well as a feeling. I'm like, all right, because I
Nailed
too
it.
think it's an
Mm-hmm.
action every day.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I heard action more than feeling. Will says, okay, what does love mean to you? She goes, when I'm around you, I feel joyful. It's a feeling for me, but I don't love you out of obligation. And then he's like, what? But the loving me makes you committed to me, right? She goes, yeah, our definition of love is different, but I understand. It sounds like it's an obligation. And Will is like, really?
Dog. Even I was like,
Yeah.
ma'am,
Yeah.
madam,
Stop
what
it.
are we doing here? What
Eat
are
your
we doing here? Like, again, men.
Yes.
Why am I defending men that I
Yes.
don't even know if I seen the whole thing? But
Yes.
like Brittany, come on, girl. Like I've been saying since this season started,
Season.
Brittany is not healed. Unfortunately, she
Mm-mm.
has so many insecurities
Yes.
that need. I think they need proper tending to and
Yes.
healing. And unfortunately, Will is not
He's
that
not.
guy.
He's not the one.
She the fact that she's really sitting here saying like basically saying I want flowery words over
Over
actions
action. Yeah.
just goes to show you I've been saying since day one she's a words of affirmation love language receiver. She loves words of
Mm-hmm.
affirmation. Will actively will never give words of
Mm-hmm.
affirmation. That is just his weird logical brain. He always has to couch something with maybe this, maybe that,
Yeah.
because he refuses to say absolutes, which
Yes.
again, that's how some people's
On
brains work.
paper, yes. He's not wrong.
The and the fact that and what we've seen, just the stuff we've seen, we have seen him show growth and loving and understanding to her actions wise.
Hmm.
But like he says to her, it's just not enough. It's not the way she wants it. So it just doesn't count.
Yes.
And that is where they always fall short
Sure.
because
Yeah.
I even think she tries to give him love the way that she wants
She
it
wants it.
by she constantly gives him compliments and all over him and stuff like that. And he just wants somebody who is just as logical as he is. He just
Yeah.
wants somebody who will not be emotional. He wants somebody who won't take things personally. She takes things
Very personally.
really, really personally.
Yeah.
And again, this is not, I'm not mad at her. It's not a knock on her. It's just like you could tell her journey. You could just tell her journey,
Yeah.
especially from moment one when they slept together and
Hmm.
then she shows doubt in it and his logical brain was like, okay, well, we don't got to do it again. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, now you don't love me, you don't love
Yeah.
me, you don't like me, you're not attracted to me. Like you could just tell that I was like, dang, this is a
Self
self-fulfilling
fulfilling.
prophecy.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
what it felt like. And
Yeah.
I just feel so bad for the both of them because
Yes.
I really want them to work out, but it's just
So
not.
bad.
it,
So,
it
so bad.
can't.
I completely agree with you. I think I've been describing it as Brittany is raw and it's like
Mm,
a live wire, and Will is just triggering her all over the place without
yeah,
even meaning to, because
exactly.
he's not built for what she needs right now.
Exactly.
It's going to take time. They're both not built for marriage at first sight. Not the show, like literally at first sight. You got to
Mhm,
know each other to understand each other, to be able to give each other what they need. And I think my
mhm,
exact words were, I need to get off my Delulu train, because I think that's what's making me want them to work so bad. But
mhm.
they're incompatible. On a
They
base
are.
level, they're
Base
incompatible.
level.
Do I
Yeah.
think they could make it work? Yes, but it's going to be a lot of struggle that I don't know anyone should go through.
Exactly,
because
exactly.
because I always say this, you can make anything work with anyone. It just
Mhm.
depends what level of struggle it's going to be. You could have an easy
Yeah.
life with someone, you just never know. But I don't know what, it's a lot of growth and a lot of things that's going to be needed with this too. But in this case, Brittany, Team Brittany, but she was wrong for this. You led the questions. It was a nice moment. Eat the coochie snacks. Wait, that sounds bad. I meant the
Oh,
job.
no.
Just the snacks, the drinks, like you
Yes.
just enjoy the moments. Like you didn't have to do this at all because the fact
Mm-mm.
that Will even said, looking forward to growing, he said it. He said the things you've been looking for. And he
He
meant
said
it
the things
because
off camera you were looking for.
yes, and he won't say things he doesn't mean. The way he operates, if he doesn't mean it, he's not
Thank you.
saying it. So he has
Thank
weight.
you.
So take that win and then let's be going. Everything is not a battle. Any long term relationship, guys, you have to pick your battle, not everything. So he says, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, it's the wrong thing because I'm telling you how I feel and you're
Mhm.
discrediting it. And I'm exhausted, but also like, how are they not nauseous? That thing was bouncing way up, down, and I get seasick. So I was
They need
like,
to stay off of boats. Like they get into the
really?
worst fights on boats.
So she's like, no, I was just pointing out the differences. Like, I'm sorry if I took a romantic dialogue and turned it into discrediting you. She's like, but now I know. Now I know how you feel. It was kind of passive aggressive. Like, I know how you feel. And now it's up to me to make you comfortable to express yourself. And she looks so uncomfortable too. And then Will is like, I know it's not intentional because you're so sweet, but it's because you're so sweet that you take everything personal. And I'm like, he's not
Mhm.
wrong.
She really do.
Then she apologizes profusely and starts to cry. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I really am so sorry. And, Will has a move that I call the pull. If you guys notice, anytime they have anything, he pulls her towards
Mhm.
him, gives her a kiss. They say, I love you to each other. And then, that was it. And, Will shrug. This is where it's a positive. He's irritated, but it's not enough to make like a big deal out of it. I think he's
Mhm.
fine with it. But the next thing we see, it's the day before decision day, and they're saying goodbye to each other. Who makes Someone makes the joke? She made the joke, like, oh, I might not see you in forever. And then he starts laughing, like, oh, he makes the same joke, and she's like, that's not funny. He's like, what?
I was I had looked away for 2 seconds, and I looked back at this, and I was like, "Are they trying to recreate that conversation they had on the couch that was
Yeah,
on the security
the
camera?"
security camera.
Because it felt like it what Brittany was like, "I love you," and Will
Pause.
was like,
He didn't say back.
"See you later." Like, he
He
did
did
not
not
say it
send
back.
you back. I
He
totally know
didn't
it
say
because
it
he
back.
pulled her in for a hug, says thank you to her. Then she says it again. No matter what happens, I love you. And then what kind of love? And he was like, oh, wait, just kidding. And I'm like, oh, God. But he did not say I love you back. They thank each other a lot. I don't know. It annoys me. Like, stop thanking each other. It's not a like professional setting. Like, thank you for saying that. Thank you for doing that. I'm like, no, but they have good
It's
manners,
weird.
I guess.
Yeah.
So she says they've made plans for the future, so she's confident about their decisions. He gives her a kiss, and another move that Will has, he always holds her neck when he kisses her. I don't know if
I
anyone
don't
else has
think if I
noticed, but yeah, he
noticed
does that.
that.
So next thing we see is decision day. I'm like, wait, what? That's supposed to be next week. What is happening? Sure, let's go through it. It says Brittany and Will. Again, my heart sank. I'm like, why? Why are we seeing them first? I can't do this anymore. We go through a montage of their journey. We see Will in a suit, and he's like, he was trying to put together all his biggest fears about the relationship. And after putting all that together, we see him on the phone. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I called Brittany and I let her know that I'm going to say no. My God. I don't know if I threw my phone or so. I was like, I cannot. I cannot do this again because not Brittany. My friend Wendy says it all the time that she has an anxious attachment. This is the
Mm.
absolute worst thing you can do to her. So it is decision day because we see Brittany getting her makeup done, and she's
Mhm.
speaking with her makeup artist Naya. Which, by the way, I have a bonus episode with Naya and Brittany's hairstylist on Patreon. So if you want to check that out,
Nice.
go check it out. She's telling her, I'm not going to lose my shit. I'm not going to lose my shit. And she's like, what happened? We see her tell the producer what happened. And the producer says, you got a phone call? And she's like, I'm not doing it.
I'm not
I'm
doing
not
it.
doing it. I'm not doing it. Then we see Will get into a car. Where is he going?
To the decision day.
Oh, I thought he was already there because there were cameras and
No.
stuff. Oh,
Yeah. So what I think we're seeing here is like the final peek behind the curtain, right? Because just like Brittany was getting ready, she's getting ready for
Ready to
decision
go.
day to go meet with the experts. He was too, but he was like, "I'm gonna call." We have talked about this on so many different like seasons of
Yeah.
MAFS, where it's like it feels like this person may have tipped this person off
Off.
about what they're gonna say,
Mm-hmm.
and I think each season, I think my thought process is production does not want you to do it,
Yeah.
but if you do it, they know and they had the footage. They just
Yeah.
don't show us.
Show it. Okay.
I think they don't show it. I think
Okay.
if people who actually care for their partner and don't want them to be blindsided
Mm-hmm.
do let them know ahead of time.
Yeah.
Others I think do. So I think this is a decision that he wanted to make, that he wanted to tell her ahead of time, and he does it. But this is just the first time that we're
We
seeing it
see.
from both angles, that they're actually showing it to us. Because, and I think we'll have that confirmation next week for
Yeah.
decision day if they come in and it's supposed to kind of be like, it was supposed to be like a reset, like, oh, what are you guys about to say? Like,
Yeah.
unless they are like at decision day, like, oh, this is what happened,
Yeah.
then I think what we're just seeing the how the sausage is being
The
made
sausage
again.
being
You know what
made
I'm
on
saying?
for that.
Like
Yeah.
that's what I think that's what happened. For me. But poor Brittany. I did feel so bad for her. And but at least from what we were shown, at the very least, at least this is a couple who, like we said, are just fundamentally incompatible in
Yeah.
that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Yeah.
have been batting zero for 20 on the black couples in the past like 4 or 5 seasons. So, at the very least,
Well, except Camille and Thomas.
oh yes, oh yes,
Yes.
shout out to Camille and Thomas. Yes, 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 yes. Shout
Yeah.
out to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it right. so
Yeah.
right- so it's either that it's like Camille, Thomas,
Or
Bree, and
yeah.
Vincent,
Yeah.
Amani, Woody, whatever, or it is like
The spectrum
KG and
of
M,
yes.
Chris and Paige. Like it is
Yeah.
diabolical how like bad it is. You know what I'm saying?
It
So
really is because I'm exhausted
yes,
and
at
I'm not
least
even
with
in it.
this,
Yeah.
it felt like it's like middle ground. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody was a horrible person. They just funnily couldn't make it work
To
type
make it
thing.
work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what he says. He's like, I love and adore her, but I cannot
Mm-hmm.
be in a relationship where I'm constantly told that my feelings don't matter. So
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's the biggest thing,
I
actually.
don't.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
I don't
that's
know if
it.
that's the.
But I mean, she doesn't constantly say that. It happened on the boat, but I think that's a bigger issue that they have. But she says, Mama ain't raised no quitter. She didn't say that part. That's me. But she says,
Mm,
I don't believe him. That and that part is the part that wants to fight, but I don't really know where I'm gonna go from here. And that's how the episode ends.
yeah. We do see on the next time on they get to decision day, and it definitely feels like a baby please moment. That's for sure on Britney's side. So
Yeah. I will say, like,
we could be saying all of this, and they mess around and both say yes.
that is where I'm leaning though. I just feel like she's not gonna quit, and I do think that Will does like her, but I
Yeah,
think he's so logical that he's just like, is it even feasible if
yeah.
I'm gonna keep saying the wrong thing? And I think in promoting next week's episode, I think she was just like, watch out, there's more. And I'm like, what could be the more? What else could happen again? I can't take it
Yeah, I
anymore.
don't. I just don't think Britney is prepared to be with um what I call a quiet dude. Like my husband
Hmm.
he's a very quiet dude. Like
Hmm.
nothing shakes him. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So if you are not used to that, just like it's coming off to Britney, it's coming off of he doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's not that he doesn't care, it's that things don't phase him.
Yes.
It's like that Belinda and Chad thing, as in like, why am I going to get upset about X, Y, and Z? It's not that big of a deal. And that's what Will has been saying this whole season.
Yes.
It's like she's asking him about this and he's like, it's fine. And she's
Yes.
like, it's just fine. He's like, it's fine. And then she pushes him to name something. And now all of a sudden it's like, see, I told you you were mad about that and you didn't tell me. And he's like, I was never mad about it. I didn't
Yeah.
care enough about it.
Yeah.
You just wanted me to say something. She's not built for the quiet man life. She's not. So I don't know if even if she pushes, if it'll work. She would have to really decenter herself in thinking that his mood is dependent on her.
Her.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I just don't know if she can do it.
That's why I keep saying, like, is it going to be a time thing? Because in some form, I completely understand what you're saying. My husband is the same way. He's not rattled by a lot, but we complement each other because I say all these things about Brittany, and I've admitted on here, like, old me, like, I am Brittany and Brittany is me. Like, I can't relate to, like, oh my God, what's going on? And just freaking out. But, as you get older and as time goes on, you realize, like, oh,
That's
you
true.
just need to heal some things. And then the more you
Hmm.
realize, like, me saying that, oh, I need more. What was it that he said? Like, I wake up every
A
day and
more,
it's a commitment. Like,
yeah.
it's not a feeling, like, it's more like an action. You don't take that personally and think, like, no, I
No.
don't feel that way. But just because we're married legally, it means I have to stay with you. The more you know Will, you realize, like, oh, that's not what he means. But again, I don't know if I'm defending Will too much, but I don't know. That's
No, I think we're defending both of them. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, I really feel for Brittany. Like, you can kind of tell that she's been through some, like,
yeah.
through some stuff. So it's just like, you know, it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but we'll see. We'll
We'll
see.
see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I usually give a bouquet and ashes. Who gets your bouquet for this episode? It could be a couple, it could be a single person. Who would you
You
give your bouquet
know,
to for this episode?
shout out to Megan and Derek, I guess. Like, they are making it work. It's weird, but it's working. Good for them. Like, honestly, like, nobody wants to root for, like,
Yeah,
a broken home or whatever you call it, whatever. It doesn't matter, like, because I do agree with Megan. You can raise a kid without being together, but,
yeah,
like, they just weirdly complement each other. They
yeah,
truly weirdly do. They can throw it at each other. They can, they can lob them. They
yeah,
heal, and then they prank together. Like,
yeah,
it's, and then he runs around the house doing 20 things for her while she sits and drinks a margarita, not a margarita, but she she drinks a drink. So it's cute in a weird way. So shout out
yeah.
to them.
Yeah, I agree. They have
Mhm.
my bouquet too. Like, it's just
Mhm.
like that's what maths originally was made for. Like, you just meet
Yeah.
each other in the middle, make it work. It doesn't mean it's perfect. They still have their fights. I'm sure she still has
Mhm.
outbursts and he's still like, what is going on? But they're making it work and they have good intentions for the future. Um,
Exactly.
who has your ashes?
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust for Chad and Belinda. I don't think there's no way to come back from that. Belinda's, like, had it every time when she was on the phone with Pia, when they were the expert visit, her body was like, just, like, turned completely away from
Yeah.
him, just shut off and turned away from him.
Yeah.
So I think it's done.
Yeah. I have never given it to them. I think they might have had my bouquet twice, but I gotta give it to
Wow.
Will and Brittany only because just how they made me feel, just up and down. One minute I was here just like, he said, I love you. They're here together. Next minute
Mhm.
it's like, what does love mean to you? You don't rate me. Oh, I'm saying no. And everyone's sad again. And I can't take it. I'm not watching Squid Game, the challenge. I don't want to feel this way. It's not a competition. So I'm giving it to them for stressing me out because I'm rooting so hard
Mm-mm.
for them. And they cannot get it together at all.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
Okay, well, this has been so much fun. Thank you for coming on. Can you share with people where they can find you or hear you or listen to any of your pods?
Yes, you can find me over on Blue Sky at Mari Talks Too Much. That's two, like the number two. I'm just, bleeding, skeeting, whatever over there. Anything I want to. You can also find me over on Crime Scene Pod. You can go to crimescenepod.com. That's crime, SEEN pod.com, where me and Sarah Carradine, my wonderful co host, we talk about true crime documentaries. So we we just previously did Don't Date Brandon, a docuseries on Paramount Plus. We have some really great guests coming up in the future, but we give you homework. We say, hey, we're going to watch this next week. You get to watch it, then you come listen to us review it. It's such a fun time. We have our own little community on buymeacoffee.com/crime scene pod. Same type of style as Patreon, but you can pay anything and you get access to exclusive content, bonus content. We just dropped a bonus content. We talked to this woman, Storm, who was a talking head in the documentary Thirst Trap. The fall, the fallout, the fame, the fall, the fallout, or something like that, about a TikToker, this 18-year-old TikToker guy who has a legion of fans of older women, and how his fandom kind of like got out of control. And so we have one of the talking heads who was in that fandom, and she literally spilled all the tea about the
Wow.
fandom, the craziness about that documentary. So you can only listen to that if you sling us a couple bucks at buymeacoffee.com/crime scene pod. So real fun. Any true crime heads out there, come listen to us. And then you can also find me over on Recap Kickback, where me and Chappelle talk about whatever we want. You can go to recapkickback.com or go to youtube.com/@recapkickback. We are currently about to finish up our season 1 rewatch of Interview with a Vampire. Believe it or not, as somebody who loves vampires, I had not seen the last half of season 1 and season 2. So we are on this season 1 finale now, and we are having such a great time over there. Chappelle is also covering Abbott Elementary, all sorts of stuff. The Wire over on Recap Kickback. So please come out, support us, subscribe. Just subscribe on YouTube. That helps a lot. So that's it. That's where you can find me. Thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome. I will put the links in the show notes so you guys can just click on it and then go support. And I told you guys earlier to watch Thirst Trap because I watched it and I was like,
You
this
watched
country is crazy. We got a bunch of 40-year-old women acting like they never seen a man in their life, and it
girl,
was a boy,
50,
but yes,
60.
that was crazy. That was crazy. It's on Paramount Plus, guys. So
It
go check
is.
it out. And it was a very interesting one.
You
You know
gotta
what?
listen to our
Yes.
interview with Storm. It was wild.
I will check it out. I saw that on there and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they got Storm. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Okay, guys, you know where to find me on all the socials. It's AltoCall MAFS. Please give me a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you like what you hear. If you don't, that's okay too. Just, tell your friends. And stay subscribed so you don't miss out on any episode as the season winds down. And until next time, guys, talk to you then. Bye.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.